Bum-ba-da-dum. Banjo Ben here, banjobenclark.com, or maybe you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or wherever that may be. We're going to do something fun today, a lesson called sharing licks. And I've done these before with other instruments, but this is where we share or steal, whatever you want to call it, licks from other instruments and learn how to play them on instruments that you don't normally hear them on. So listen to this preview and let's grab some banjo licks, even a mandolin lick, and play it on guitar. 1, 2, ready, go. Well, that was fun. You know, I think this is one of the funnest and best ways to grow on our instrument is to try to play things that we're not used to playing on our instrument. And when you listen to great players play, they'll often talk about, taking other instrument solos and transcribing them, learning how to play them on their own instrument, because it puts your fingers in places that you're not used to going, gets you out of those ruts. So even if you don't actually use these specific licks on guitar, if you'll learn them with me and explore, I think it will open up some other licks that you weren't thinking of. That's what it does to me. Whenever I try to learn one of my banjo licks on guitar, I usually don't even stick with that lick. It usually turns into something else that I've discovered. And that's, again, where it gets really fun and beneficial. So we're going to jump in and learn these 5 licks on guitar. If you're watching somewhere other than banjobenclark.com, you can watch this full video, download the tabs, jam tracks, not only for this lesson, but hundreds more, like over 800 for banjo, mandolin, guitar. I'd be honored to have you as a Gold Pick member. Just go to joinbanjoben.com to learn more and come over and shop at Banjo Ben's General Store. Now let's learn lick number 1. All right, boys and girls, let's learn the licks here. There's a lot of fun ones here. Some very common ones that we hear on banjo. That first one is this. You hear that a lot, don't you? And it's a bit of a handful with our fret hand. Our pick hand is not that difficult. We're not playing very many pick strokes compared to how many notes are coming out because of all these hammer-ons and pull-offs. So let's just simplify it first. Forget about all the hammer-ons and pull-offs on the G string. Just put your index finger down on the 2nd fret, and let's just get the timing down. Sounds like this. Can you do that with me? Ready, go. I'm playing particular pick strokes. Down, up, 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 down, up, down. Try it with me again. Now I'm just going to add that first hammer-on. Sounds like this. 1, 2, ready, go. And as far as that really quick hammer-on pull-off in the middle, you might just want to practice that by itself. And then you might want to play it through the rest of the measure like this. 1, 2. But then when you put it all together, I'll slow it down. Sounds like this. 1, 2, play with me. You got to develop that strength in your left-hand fingers to get those clear hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I'm putting a lot of pressure down with my index finger back here so that I can get that clean hammer and then pull back off. So where might we use that? Well, I use it a lot at the end of phrases when I'm soloing. You could also use it to get into a solo. Or if I was going to play like a solo for, say for I'll Fly Away, I might use this on the very last bit of the solo. notice the lick that I threw in there before that is another banjo lick. We're not covering it here, but I have a lesson for that called the second most important guitar lick. So we can pile those together. And then we're really like a banjo player, just linking licks, right? Okay, our next lick, number 2, is a great little lick. I think I came up with this variation, but I hear licks like this all the time from banjo players. Slowly it sounds like this. And what catches your ear on this one is that high E string seemingly coming in out of nowhere. Okay. Pick strokes I think are important here. And I like to grab that 3rd fret on the B string with my middle finger and then slide down right beneath it with my index finger. To put it into context, well, if we'll just do I'll Fly Away again, I would just start this lick a little bit earlier. Sounds pretty slick, doesn't it? I think so. All right, our next lick, lick number 3, is that mandolin lick, kind of a Monroe style thing. And this one's pretty tough to get fast because of all the moving parts, but you don't have to do all the moving parts. Sounds like this. Did I get it? Oh, that's hard. And the reason why it's hard is because there's a bar in there with our ring finger, okay? So we're going to start by a quick slide. You can even erase that for now if you just want to learn it. And then we're going to do a quick hammer on, and then bar, another hammer on. Now, if you don't want to do all those hammer-ons, it would sound a little bit more bluesy, but you could just play the 3rd fret. Sounds like this. And that sounds pretty cool. You know, you're doing bluesy stuff. Pretty cool. But what I love about this lick is that it's a closed lick. What do I mean by that? There's no open strings. And this is built out of that F shape, right? We just moved it up. So if we wanted an A lick, we just did it in G. We could just move up to where our ring finger's on that A note. Again, this is just an F shape. Moved up 4 frets, and now you're playing an A chord. And if you do this lick, B lick, pretty cool, huh? So you can get an F all the way up through up. You could do a D lick way up here. Pretty cool. So it's a great one to have in your bag of tricks, because if you're up the neck and you're just looking for something, especially in those mid-tempo groove songs, and you got an A chord coming up, if I can play it. Pretty cool. Or you could use it in the G context like we already learned. All right. In our next lick, number 4, we're going to have to alter it a little bit because it's just about impossible to get it just like the banjo plays it with all the rolls. But as I mentioned before at the top of the lesson, one of the reasons why I love doing this is that it forces us to try to copy other instruments and then come up with a guitar version of it. We do have some roll sounding stuff in it. It sounds like this. Again. If that really quick pull off at beginning of measure 9 gives you trouble, you can just play the 1st fret and don't pull off. Sound like this. That sounds great too. But the quick little pull off, that mimics what that banjo's doing whenever you watch the lesson preview. I love this lick because, well, like the other ones too, it's going to work over a G chord. It's also going to work over a D chord. Right? So if you've got a couple measures of D or going to D to G or G to D, this one works great. and you can kind of make it fit where it's going by altering the last note of it. And that goes for all of these licks. So if we were going to, maybe we're going to a D chord, you could have it land on any of your D chord triad notes, right? Or in fact, you could start piling these licks together. So I could do this lick and then back it up with lick number 1. Pretty cool, huh? So we can start piling them up, coming up with some pretty jazzy sounding, not really jazzy, but kind of jazzy sounding licks. Now our very last one is just kind of for fun. I use this really late nights in the jam when I want to try to sound like a banjo and do an ending to a song, a shave and a haircut ending, or if I'm wanting to just twin the banjo just to terrorize them. And so we're going to pretty much do it note for note here, kind of a standard banjo ending. It's going to start on the 4th beat of the measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slide it to the 8th fret. You could also do it here, but the banjo's doing it from an E to a G, so that's what we're going to mimic. And they would even probably do some quicker pull-offs, like something like that. But I just kept it a little bit more simple. And then the more difficult part is to jump up the neck to get that choke. So 7th fret here, ring fingers on the 10th, and I've got my middle finger right behind it on the 9th, helping me push it up. And then I'm going to quickly jump to that 8th fret with my index finger. Then slide up, 14, 15, if you can see that, right? And it's hard to do with medium gauge strings, but it's going by so fast that you really can't hear if you make it all the way there. And same thing with the banjo, they're just kind of getting that. That's all you're after. Okay. So fun. All right, you can use that to annoy your local banjo player as well. Hope you enjoyed these licks. Go out and try them. Post some videos, tag me in them. Let me hear you picking them.